everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm doing something that's familiar but also a bit different. And I'm going to tell you a little story about this before I get into the video. So what happened with this one is these are ornaments that I created in January for a woman that found me who wanted me to create ornaments for a Queen's Luncheon that she was going to be hosting, that she's been doing now for the last 3 or so years in her home, I think, in Mississippi. So she reached out to me in January, right after I put all of my ornament creation products and stuff away, and asked me if I would create ornaments for her. Now, these ornaments are not just ornaments to give away just as ornaments. These were ornaments that she turned into what they call happies, which is basically a souvenir as a takeaway from the event that she was hosting. So Susan and I have become really good friends. We have a mutual respect for each other's talents, and she is amazing, and you will see this in a second. She does tablescapes, and as part of a tablescape group on Facebook, and she enters competitions each year, and you will see she has a flair for tablescapes, and she used my ornaments in a very creative way, different than a normal ornament, but certainly something that could be used as a keepsake. So I'm sharing this with you guys as an idea of how to use ornaments in other ways besides just hanging on a tree. So without any further ado, I'm going to share with you what she has shared with me from her event, and then I'm going to get into a little bit of my creation video, and then I'm going to go in depth to the creation video. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Christmas, there was all these videos popping up on my Facebook page about these ornaments, and you put your alcohol inks or your acrylics or fingernail polish. So I went to Dollar Tree and got me a bunch of fingernail polish, put it on there, and I dipped my glass ball in there.
Look how wow. Beautiful.
Oh, it's lumpy and it's gnarly.
But you can't tell that from a distance.
No, that's just not acceptable.
You put it in, you put all the fingernail polish in one thing?
Yeah, and then you swirl it. You get like a shoebox, a plastic shoebox.
But you know what you can always do? You can go back and put glue on it and sprinkle glitter on it. That'll hide the lumpiness.
Well, okay. So I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this. Well, I start watching all the videos on YouTube and how to do it correctly, and then I find this lady, right? And I'm like, there's no way I can do this, just absolutely what she did. So I get in touch with her, she had a website, and so I said, would you make me these ornaments? I need these. And she and I she's my new best friend. She's in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. So if you notice, everybody's is different, and then the back of it is different than the front. Okay. So I wanted to put Queen Showcase Greenwood, Mississippi 2026 on there. And it was impossible. So
With a curve, yeah.
when you do this on Cricut, it's called weeding when you take the inside the Q out and all this kind of stuff. And my Q flung off somewhere. I couldn't find my Q. And so when I go to the bathroom, I'm looking in the mirror and the Q is stuck in my legs.
What's in your already prepared suit?
be a queen. I love
Okay, so her name is Louise. Louise made us a video about this. Okay, so let's see.
Hello ladies, my name is Louise McKay and I'm an artist who works at louisemckayart. Susan reached out to me about a month ago to create the happies for your event, and I was thrilled for the opportunity. And although Christmas had just wrapped up and I put all my ornament creation tools away, when presented with the idea of working with leopard colors, pinks and golds, I couldn't resist. Working with Susan was wonderful, and these souvenirs were born from our synergistic idea exchanges. Then Susan blinged these baubles, individualizing each one of them just for you. What I'm showing you here in a sped up way is how I create my ornaments using the bloom technique. Then I take what I blow out here and scoop it up and transfer it over to the ornament and create the ornaments that you have in front of you today. A little bit about me. I hail from Wallingford, Connecticut and entered the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1980. I then graduated in '84 in the 5th class that allowed women, and then I served as a military police officer. Hardly sounds like the beginnings of an art story, but let me continue. After serving in the military, I ended up working in manufacturing for many years, and in between, my husband and I raised 3 great children. As quality manager at Graphic Packaging International, I fielded color complaints among other things, learned all about color, color combination, hues and tones in the color spectrum, and all that experience helped develop my keen eye for color. Then in 2020, during COVID, I stopped working and a few months later discovered this art form, have been doing it ever since. Currently, I live in Asheville, North Carolina, just north of you ladies, and continue to create many functional art pieces such as coasters, clocks, Lazy Susans, wood boards, charcuterie boards, trinket boxes, wine glasses, even yo-yos. I focus on functional art and am fortunate enough to be able to sell in a couple stores in downtown Asheville. I also teach in my workshop, doing something I truly love in a place that I am in love with. I want to thank Susan again for the opportunity to create these to commemorate your Senior Queen event. I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed creating them for you. And if you're ever on YouTube, just look me up, Louise McKay Art. I just reached 30,000 subscribers and I invite you to join as well. I'm inserting my QR code if you'd like to do that. And in closing, I hope that your event is fun and memorable. And once again, thank you so much. So if you follow me, you'll know that I'm more of an earth tone girl, but this was probably the most fun project I've ever worked on. And even her dog, Sweet Caroline, got in on the fun. I'm so happy that Susan found me, and if you get a chance, check out her Facebook page shown here that started out as a restoration project that now has morphed into cooking, entertaining, and more. So when I recorded the video, I was only really doing it to create a video for the ladies, even though I hadn't told Susan that yet. But what I'm going to do here is voice over the entire creation, maybe skipping a couple spots and maybe going on fast forward a bit. But this way you'll at least get a better idea of exactly what I did. So what I'm showing you here is a palette knife. This is a 6-inch palette knife, and I'm charging up the leading edge there with a little pillow paint. My pillow paint is my typical Glidden 6011N, and I'm going to use that as the leading edge to scoop up the bloom that I already created. And the reason why I put my pillow paint on the leading edge of the palette knife is so that when I go to scoop up that creation, I have a little buffer between the composition and the palette knife. If I tried to scoop this with a dry palette knife, the leading edge of that bloom would just fold under itself and I would lose half of my bloom. So I'm scooping it up here, trying to get all of that bloom onto that palette knife, and then I quickly transfer it over to the ornament, and then I start tilting my palette knife, starting at the front edge of the ornament and then tilting it up, trying to aim my center cells right over the center of the ornament, and then I continue to tilt that palette knife higher until I get all of it onto the ornament. And then I just make sure that I have my composition where I want it centered as much as possible on the ornament, and then gravity takes over. I'm going to go on fast forward here as I leave that first ornament alone and then start pouring my pillow paint for the second ornament. And continuing on fast forward as I lay down the colors, first of which is Liquitex's quinacridone magenta, straight color mixed with my regular pouring medium I have listed in the description. Second color here is Golden's iridescent bronze, and my third color is my typical gold combination, which is 24 karat gold by Deco Art and Golden's iridescent gold. And the last color here is my Golden's carbon black, and I'm going to finish off this whole thing going back to a little dab of the quinacridone magenta. And I'm going to top it off with my Oxide black cell activator and come back to real time as we go through the blow. So back to real time here, I'm blowing straight down into the cell activator to get it to form as much of a circle as possible. And then once I get a little ridge and a little divot, I aim my blow at the ridge, which is going to blow the cell activator out over the paints, and then the paint's going to spread out over the pillow until I get all of this blown out in all directions and get the composition I'm looking for, at least for the start. I have a good video, 419, The Art of the Blow. I'll link it above here if you want to see, first of all, how to find your blow in the first place with a little cheat, and then how your angle and your speed of your blow affect the composition in the final end. I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit to the spinning portion and then come back. And this is currently my best setup for how I have two things going at once, a bloom on one side and then the bloom on the ornament dripping down on the other. Both take a little bit of time. The ornament on the left takes time for gravity to pull down the paint so I can get that nice nipple forming in the middle where all the paints kind of congeal together. And then the ornament on the right that's spinning out, once I've got it all spun out, I like to let it sit there for at least a minute or two to settle down before I get ready to transfer it over onto the next ornament I will be working on. In the meantime, I go back to the ornament on the left with a little straw hose there, and I help gravity along by helping blow the paint, guiding it toward the center. So after a few minutes of adjustments, I determine it's ready for pickup. I unhinge it from the Ryobi drill that's holding it there, and with that is a skewer and a wine cork inside that ornament that's holding it on the Ryobi drill. If you want to see even more in-depth explanation, see any of my other prior ornament videos where I share tons of information, and my playlist with 20 videos is there for you anytime you want to take a look. This creation was primarily for the Queen's Luncheon and also to illustrate the point that ornaments can be used for more than just hanging on a tree. Use them as souvenirs, party favors, things like that. So real quick, back to the creation in case you're wondering what I'm doing over there. I just inserted the next ornament and I've laid down the pillow paint on this ornament that is just essentially strained scraps from my paintings from the prior year. And that pillow paint there is just flow paint so that when I transfer the bloom onto the ornament, it has a nice place to flow as it flows down and around and forms the nice design in the back. So I'm going to skip ahead to the transfer again, and we'll probably sign off with that. So everyone, that's a wrap. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and the idea that some creations can be used for other ideas than what their intended purposes are. So in this case, Susan had a clear vision of what she intended to do with these ornaments and turn them into her happies for the Queen's Luncheon by adding cricket cutouts with their name and the memory of the Queen's Luncheon for 2026. And what a great idea this was, and certainly a fun opportunity for me to work in a color palette that I'm not normally working in. So if you are new here, please join me by subscribing, hitting the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. And if you can also leave a comment and a thumbs up, that's greatly appreciated. If you're able to hype the video, I would appreciate that as well. And this is a perfect video for Valentine's Day, so I do wish everyone out there a happy Valentine's Day, however you celebrate, and take care. Till next time.